Hello guys, here is a quick sleeve tutorial that is clear, straightforward and absolutely beginner friendly. The measurements needed for this sleeve is the cap height, bicep measurement, length of sleeve and armhole circumference. I have a video tutorial on how to take accurate body measurements and I have linked it in the description box, and I strongly suggest you watch it if you have issues taking accurate body measurements. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight to it. So I have already folded my paper in 2 equal halves, as you can see. So when I open it up later, I have a full sleeve. Next, I mark half an inch from the top of my paper and I rule it across. This will be my borderline. Next is to measure the length of sleeve. If I was doing an elbow length measurement, I would simply measure 10 inches from the top line, which is my elbow length measurement. But since I am drafting a long sleeve, I will measure my long sleeve length, which is 22 inches, and I will rule that across like so. Next thing to do is to determine the cap height. To get the cap height, I divide my bust measurement by 12 inches and I add half an inch to it. That is 33 divided by 12 plus half an inch, and that gives me 3 1/4. But I will round it up to 3.5 inches. I will then measure 3.5 inches from the borderline and rule across. Now, it is on this line that I will measure my bicep measurement. For me, the bicep measurement is 10 inches. I will divide that into 2. That gives me 5 inches, and I will add 2 inches sewing allowance to it like so. So if you're doing an elbow length measurement, you will measure your elbow circumference and you will input it on the elbow line and you will add 1 inch allowance to that. But for a long sleeve length, I will measure my wrist circumference on the wrist line. My wrist circumference is 7 inches. I will divide that into 2 and I will add 1 inch sewing allowance to it. And next, I will connect the bicep line to the wrist line like so. Now, it's time to draft the armhole curve. To get the armhole curve, from the center point on the borderline to the bicep point, I will rule a slant line like so. I will divide the slant into 4. I have 8 inches slant line, and if I divide that into 4, I have 2 inches each, and I will mark that. On the first point and second point, I will measure half inch each above the slant like so. On the third point, I will measure 1/4 inch below the slant line like so. Now, using the French curve, I will connect the midpoint to the first and second point like so. Then I will connect it to 1/4 inch point below the slant line like so. This is the back of the sleeve as it is, but because the front armhole is usually a little deeper than the back, I need to do a little alteration to this pattern. To get the front of the sleeve, I will simply measure half inch below from the third point instead of the 1/4 inch that I previously marked. Then I will connect this new point to point number 2 like so. Now I will cut off the excess paper. That's it. The back and front sleeve is ready. The next thing I will do is use my tracing wheel to trace my lines onto the other part of the paper, after which I will mark the lines out, and once that's done, I have the full sleeve and I have gone ahead to label it. Now it's time to trim the excess paper, not forgetting to cut on the second line on the front armhole. And that's it. The sleeve pattern is ready. Now I have folded it together and you can see the difference between the front and back armhole curve. So that's it, guys. I hope you found this video valuable. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and please hit the subscribe button while at it. Thank you. Alright guys, till the next time you hear from me, please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have yourself some fabulous time.